My next guest is Judy Fyfe, Executive Director of the St. Vincent de Paul Society. So good to see you again.
Lovely to be back.
So you got big news.
We do have big news. It is an exciting time. After so many years of working away towards this goal, we are now at the end of this month breaking ground for our new facility.
Wow.
Yeah.
And where's it located?
Bagot and Charles.
Okay.
Yep.
It's where the No Frills was years ago.
That's right, Bennett's No Frills.
Oh, Bennett's No Frills. Right.
Yes, yes.
Oh my gosh.
So
yes.
this is such a gratifying time for us, because there's all that work that happens year after year that maybe doesn't show to be progress. When it all comes together and you see, okay, this is the last of the hard journey we've been on. We're going to start to see the fruits of our labor, and so very exciting.
So tell me all about it. What's going to be in this building?
Oh, well, first of all, the folks at Wilson Architect have done a beautiful job of creating for us an absolutely beautiful building. And that's important for a lot of reasons. You want to add to the community, to the neighborhood, but also for the folks that we serve and the broader community. Sometimes this isn't what they get, brand new, sparkling, beautiful. And this will be the new home for the St. Vincent de Paul Community Center. And so I love that it's an attractive, beautiful facility for people to come to. We want to be able to attract all members of our community for a variety of different programming opportunities, so that it really is a place where people can come and gather. One of the things that we learned, I think, through COVID is just how important it is for people to connect with others. And so I love that we have this wonderful facility that has the space and the capacity to be that point of connection.
Because you currently operate out of a very small facility, and how you accomplish what you accomplish just blows my mind.
Mine too. It's quite miraculous.
Wow, yeah. So you will still do the things that you're already doing, and that is offering
Absolutely.
Lunch,
Yes.
is it?
Yes.
Lunches free?
Yep.
Yeah. Clothing?
Yes.
What else do you do there?
So currently we offer what we call our emergency food pantry. We are shifting the model slightly, and we're going to call it the social market. And we're going to set it up more like a shopping experience, as opposed to getting a parcel of food from our emergency food pantry. We want to do that. Well, we've always wanted to do that. We've just never had the space. So we're seizing the opportunity with the relocation to expand the footprint of that area for giving out food, so that people will be able to come in, choose for themselves the food based on family size, everything at no cost, of course, because that's our model of service delivery. There's no charge. But there's so much more dignity in being able to select for your family what items you will bring home and cook with. And, you know, to be honest, the Salvation Army has been doing this model for years. I'm a big fan of it. So we're really just going to copy what they have in place. I think the benefits to those folks who are using our services, be it one time or being a regular visit, just will provide a sense of well-being that comes from being able to choose your food in a dignified way.
What about clothing? Same idea?
You know what? Again, we'll have so much more space, which is wonderful. Anyone who's been to 85 Stevens Street knows that we are a crowded, crammed full little spot. And that's okay, because that means that we've got lots of community support and lots of folks coming to receive help, which is what we are there to do. But we're excited about having sort of more of a beautiful retail experience. Again, no price tags on anything, but the opportunity to come and shop in a comfortable space where it's not crowded, where people can come and you know, enjoy choosing some new clothes to take home. You know, and these are the small things that I think sometimes we maybe fail to acknowledge just how important it is. I think of so many times with my own mother or with my daughter, you know, a girls' shopping trip can be a lot of fun. It can be a bonding time. It can also be with your sons and fathers as well. But if you are having a hard time putting food on the table and paying for rent, which is a concern that we know has hit all of us across the board, those little extras will go by the wayside. And so we're really inviting everyone to come. You do not have to be suffering in homelessness or extreme poverty. I think we're all recognizing that, the working poor exist, and people who used to support us are now maybe needing our services.
I've heard that from other agencies.
This is where we're at now. And I don't know what the future holds. I don't think we're going to see a huge change anytime soon. I do think that the answer is going to be in how we care for each other on the front lines of this.
And recognizing that there's people, and it doesn't matter if it's their own fault. They say no fault of their own. Well, who cares whether they made a bad decision, they got into a bad marriage, they got their job became redundant. There's all kinds of reasons why people can suddenly find themselves on the receiving end of some of these services. It's not
absolutely,
and so it doesn't really matter. They still need the services that we need to provide for them. And
agreed.
How many people a day or a week or what?
Sure.
Yeah, how many use your?
So we don't necessarily count how many people come into our warehouse because people come in and out for the hours that we're open. But we really can measure how many meals that we're serving, and it's really. It's become a little bit more varied, and this is more reminiscent of pre-pandemic, because during the pandemic our numbers were super high and they stayed there. We're seeing a bit more of a swing. There's some days as low as 170, but I know yesterday before we even got to noon we had served 226 meals. So you can see that it's hard to predict. I am impressed with my volunteer team and my staff team, because they can adjust on the fly to maybe a difference in 60 meals from one day to another. It's incredible.
It is incredible.
Yes.
Where does your funding come from?
So we rely heavily on the community for support. Local businesses, individuals, families, small organizations, churches. We have quite a tapestry of people who support us. And I think that's our strength, because we're not reliant on, say, government funding, for instance. We can be nimble, we can be quick to pivot if we need to. And then also, if something happens to a source of funding, we didn't have all our eggs in one basket. So I really do love that we had quite a varied donation base. What's fantastic, though, and if anyone watched last night's council meeting, we have just been given a wonderful gift of support from City Council, as well as a loan to help us through the building process to take the project over the finish line. And so that is incredible for us.
That is such good news, because as I understand, your construction costs have just about doubled from when you started planning this until now that you can finally get started.
That's the thing that's difficult about a wait period and the delays that can happen. Of course, again, COVID was not a friend to us in so many ways. And so that delayed our fundraising asks, if you will. But also the shortage of materials and then the cost that went up from that has been really quite difficult for us. We had an appeal that was lodged for our bylaw amendment. That delayed us further. But the wonderful thing is, we're here, and the timing is perfect.
What's going to happen to that building that you're in now when you move? Is it like attention developers? Because that's prime real estate. Beautiful piece of property for sure.
It's hard to even think about it, because although it's a frustration to work from there, no question. I do have a very soft spot for that 85 Stevens Street. 55 years of serving people from that location.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
It's amazing.
Wow.
And I have clients that have said, I've been coming here for 35 years. I remember my mom bringing me when I was young to get clothes. I mean, the history is so great, and change is hard. But the beautiful thing is, we're not moving far. And we'll be able to reestablish and serve for another 100 years from there.
Super.
So what we do with the property, in order to pay to cover those increased expenses, we will have to sell it. Unfortunately, we don't have the opportunity to gift it to another organization who could make good use of it. And that was kind of our hope, but that's not where we're at, and that's okay, because
Yeah.
things fall out as they should, we'll be able to sell it. And hopefully what that means is that more housing for a community that's starved for housing.
Absolutely, which our community is. And with any luck,
Absolutely.
it'll be low-income housing, which is so desperately needed.
That would be an amazing thing. At this point, so though, we will just sell it for the most that we can get, because we do have to pay. Part of what we got from the city was a loan contingent upon the sale of our property. And that has been such a gift to us, because it allows us to not have to panic and sell off too quickly. We can wait and get the right buyer and move forward without that pressure. So I am grateful for that.
Sounds wonderful, and I guess you could still use some support. You could use some money. So if anybody
Definitely.
was going to make a substantial donation, this would be a really good place to put it.
Really, really good juncture in the project to jump in. Honestly, I think it is. It would certainly help us to take the project right over the finish line, and now that we can see exactly what's taking place, work is already being done on the property. So it's a
Wow.
good time.
It's exciting. Good luck with this, and come
Thank
back
you.
and tell us again what's happening.
I will definitely do so.
Okay, Judy, thanks so much.
Thank you.